Okay, good night. And so, um, just if anyone just follow me, and you didn't understand what's going on, even though, if you just have a little bit of skeptical thinking, it's not very difficult to understand. But earlier I had to take the garbage out of the room because I can't live with the garbage too much. So, but I've done it like after midnight and with grey clothes and without speaking. So hopefully the radiation will not stop. And of course, all the people like all over the world, the street, took the advantage to start like the bicycle mechanism, so that to do that is used to torture me and like to steal my energy and to infect me with whatever. So I went back to my room quietly, and I used like almost no light at all. Like presumably they prefer that way. I don't even know why. But it was enough like for me to actually paint. Not very complicated painting, but even like it was kind of like really colors, I would say. And the main kind of idea was to eliminate this kind of this bicycle and for my body. Now I should say that for the first time, only in the last couple of days I just I saw that maybe this kind of like bicycle symbol that appears later in my paintings, and it appears like even in paintings that predates the microscopic journey by far, like these ones. Like I always thought of it as starships, but only lately I understood that it might be either like kind of like a malevolent robot or malevolent microbe. And of course, there is a question of like what's the difference, and the difference is mostly how you encounter that. Like if it's kind of like a malevolent robot, it's something that was presumably engineered by someone in order to use as a weapon. And if it's microbe, it's either that you're infected by it, in an unfortunate event, like series of events, or it also can be used by weapons. So actually, the difference is not really like bold. Anyway, I knew that part of the Venusian exploration was infectious diseases, both STDs and like just disease. Just the D without the ST. But and I recently understood that maybe the sausage is something like the train that looks like rabies or something like that is kind of like important for people. I don't know why, or maybe they just like it in the intelligence community of Israel. But only very lately I understood that maybe this is a symbol of actual life form that I've never seen under the microscope, or maybe I've seen and I didn't notice that this is the symbol, because I've seen quite a bit of life forms and I didn't see something that looked like that. But enlighten me if I've seen it and I didn't understand it what I see. Please, give me a reference. And it should be said that I have many kind of like I have at least I have 4 like pretty big sculptures, like it's outside, like facing the street, like of the Caribbean starships. That are the biggest sculptures that I have with each with 20 pods of semen and enriched neojuice or something like that. So, and they actually look very much like alien life, like microbes. Like intentionally so. And like they look much more like alien life forms than actual spaceships. But this was done in purpose, like to keep this ambiguity. But I never understood that that there is kind of like one life form that is specifically horrible, and maybe like in the movie that was or like in Lovecraft novel that was like kind of stayed dormant for ages and was awakened. Now, if it's true, so I admit this all aspect of the conspiracy and and of the specialist history and evaded me. I know nothing about it. I admit I don't know everything about everything, and some aspect might be trivial to you, people of the intelligence communities of this world, but totally alien to me, and like I don't know nothing about it. So please enlighten me. Were you all infected with a specific because there were all sorts of infectious diseases. Starting the beginning of the 20th century. But presumably, maybe there was something that is really horrible that that you find in Venus. And it's particularly bad, and So if so, I mean, how is it kept like a secret from the public? Because, you know, or maybe it's not kept a secret from the public, I don't know. But I mean, if it's kept a secret, I mean, how do you manage to do it? I mean, the public should know, right? Anyway, I do understand that this kind of like, I mean, this was actually why I understood it. I mean, like in a divination or prophecy, or more you can say like, you know, poetic thought, or, you know, like, you know, metaphorical thought. I understand that this kind of like symbol is, I mean, is heavily related to the bicycle mechanism, and I understand that this microbe, I mean, is probably also related, is kind of like, I mean, smart microbe, you know, I mean, like, just like the neurons are smart robots, it's kind of like a smart microbe that allow kind of like bicycle mechanism, which is not good, or maybe it's good for someone and like for the Israelis, and not good for like their enemies. I don't know. Please enlighten me. I admit this is something that I don't know. I mean, obviously I'm immune to most of what it's doing, but not everything. But this is very interesting, and please enlighten me. Like, I mean, for example, do you want me, like, I mean, to produce like a painting like this, like, I mean, with the red, like, you know, with the red background, but I mean, not just with whitening of the neurons, but also whitening of the bicycle, I mean, of this germ? Would it be like something that you find it interesting, or maybe you like it, like maybe you're all part of, you know, like a collective Borg, and you like it from start, like you like it that way? I don't know. Please enlighten me. Now there's also a question of, like, I mean, what's the symbol in the upper titanomachic painting? Again, these two paintings were painted like more than a year ago. I mean, way before, you know, the microscopic journey started. But it's kind of, you know, it's kind of confusing because I mean, because yeah, there was an element of prophecy here that is undeniable, and then you need to acknowledge that in order to understand my journey of, like, I mean, of research and understanding. Because I mean, sometimes you need, like, to accept the irrational in order to, I mean, to get the grasp like rational, you know, a series of events. Because like, I started painting about, again, 20 months ago, I mean, like even more, 23 months ago, now that I come to think about it. Time flies. Like almost 2 years ago, and it was all, there's more stuff related, you know, to kind of like all sort of, like, I mean, things that connecting to my predecessor, and also, I mean, a lot of like symbolic, like, paintings regarding all sorts of messages that I bring to humans, and also beautiful women with big breasts, because I mean, that's what I like. And like, I mean, I wanted to, like, you know, to practice, you know, the technique. So I mean, I chose, like, I painted. So I mean, you know, but I mean, other than that, it's all kind of like related to, you know, to the symbolic, like, language. And only much later I understood that this symbolic language, it actually is used to communicate with the robots. And I've seen under the microscope all sorts of, like, you know, things that, like, scenes that, I mean, I mean, identify from my paintings, like from the, like, I mean, things like the Tanomachi, but others as well. So there's a question, like, what's okay? So if this is the creature in the lower, like, painting, I mean, I painted it, but I mean, I don't necessarily understand what, I mean, you know, it's kind of like, you know, like, you know, the muse. So the lower one can be, you know, this kind of like disgusting bug. I mean, microbe that, I mean, please elaborate, because I don't know nothing about it. So the question is, what's the upper one? It looks a little bit like Nero, but it's double. It's like double Nero, which is not, it's not exactly the same as Nero. And so maybe it's another life, or maybe I should, like, paint like this, like 5 of these, like, whites. But whites, like, on the orange, like, background, in order to delete it from my body as well. It's a question. And there's also the question of, like, why the neurons do not kill these creatures, but maybe they do. Maybe that's why I don't see these creatures in my body. I mean, because I mean, I don't need to tell them kill every creature. They know how to do it. Even though I do need to tell them clean this thing from my body, like, if I want it to be clean, because by default they create also, like, both zombies and trash, and, like, I mean, they don't necessarily kill. I mean, they kill the creatures, but I mean, they left behind it, like, also, like, I mean, either like zombified forms, or, like, you know, or, like, you know, like taxidermies, or I mean, also stuff that probably is not dangerous at all to the body, because what's dangerous in microbes is their function, not mostly. It's never like the actual, like, you know, body. I mean, the body doesn't mean anything. I mean, the function, what they do, is what makes them dangerous. This is true for biological microbes, but also for synthetic microbes. So So please enlighten me with regards to the virus insect that you find that you infected yourself with. And why does the Israelis, wanted to be that way? Because obviously they benefit from this kind of from this infection, and they said it very well. It's kind of it's in their interest for some reason. So I need to take a shower and see how we continue from here. Maybe I'll take some more microscopic examination of my pee, just after the process of enlargement. I removed the other two from the wall because it's too effective, and I don't need the needle to be too big, So it was good, it's good because it's not only for me, but it's also for other people with that relates to the yellow or the orange background, like specifically Han Solos, like the Han Solos in in the Picud Tzafon, but like Olympus Mons Picud Tzafon. Yeah, they had to go under, because the atmosphere was wiped. It's a sad story. Again, it's not your fault, but humans were also always assholes, It's presumably now that you have photographs from Venus, hopefully now the Russian probe did not have presumably the problem with opening the lens cover. It was like a mythology during the 60s and the 70s actually. So you understand that it's a fact that not only that there is life in the solar system, but also there is history in the solar system. If some of you are terrified right now because you didn't know anything about nothing, and suddenly you have to to grasp a new situation with all sorts of species and planets, my comfort to you is to say that Yesh Din v'Yesh Dayan, as they say. There is an owner to the universe, and this one is God. And you cannot understand what's going on without understand that there is God, and He created the universe. You can't really understand it. There is a limit to your understanding if you you throw God out the window, and presumably adapt agnostic point of view. Because many things. You miss you don't understand reality. To the fullest extent if you do that. So I think this will be all for now. I really miss my daughters, and it's breaks my heart. That my daughters ask me when will we see you, Daddy? When will we see you? And this is cruelty. It must be stopped. Enough with the predators. All my life I'm surrounded by predators. Enough with the predators. Let us leave this shit place and start a new life in a place without predators all around us all the time. Scheming against my children.